Your victory is only impressive if the enemy you defeated is impressive. This is inspired by a lot of comments I get on my videos. People have their particular side they like, and they like to see them win in the historical setting. But what I find fascinating is how often people try to make the side that was defeated by the side that they like seem like a bunch of fools. I mean, think about this. Think about how ridiculous this is. And let's pick a very non-controversial conflict here. The Romans and the Carthaginians. Let's say you love the Romans. The Romans are your boys, and you love to see them just beat up on the Carthaginians. Well, if Carthage is just a bunch of fools, a bunch of losers who easily get destroyed, then what's impressive about the victory from the standpoint of the Romans? And I'll tell you who understood this. Medieval commanders and chroniclers understood this, because when they recorded their great victories, they made it a point to say, these guys we were fighting, they were great. These guys were great fighters, but we were able to defeat them. So how great must we be? Of course, right? I mean, who's going to be impressed by a victory over losers? The Battle of Hattin, that was not an easy victory for Saladin to win. And he tells us so in his chronicles. In the accounts from his perspective, this is made clear. The Crusaders were surrounded and enormously outnumbered, and yet they made Saladin work for that victory. The Crusaders were making charges that were inflicting serious casualties on Saladin's army. They were regrouping and charging again, and they were hitting hard. Yeah, the casualties that Saladin's army suffered at that battle were considerable. You know, they did not have that victory handed to them by any means. Now, it was easier than it should have been, because Guy of Lusignan was a poor commander and made bad decisions. But the Christian knights themselves were outstanding fighters and were able to punch very hard and make Saladin pay for that victory. So that's one example. Another example, the Battle of Arsuf. That was not an easy victory for Richard the Lionheart and his knights to win over Saladin. Saladin's army was very well organized. It was much larger than Richard's army, at least twice as large. And they were inflicting very serious attacks on the Christian marching column. But because of Richard's capability as a general and because of the skill of his knights, they inflicted a serious defeat on Saladin. They absolutely mowed down his army, and the estimates we have, it looks like they took out about half of his army. So they killed just a huge number of Saladin's troops. And it was not easy. It was not because Saladin was a pushover and his guys were a bunch of fools. No. The sources from the time tell us that these Saracen warriors were outstanding. The Christians praised their ability as fighters. They were great fighters. And Saladin was a very capable commander. You know, this is what makes this period of history so interesting. Let's keep this in mind. A victory is only impressive if the enemy you're defeating is also impressive.